I'm just.
All right, what is going on, sports fans? We are back for another episode of the J&S Philly Sports Stop. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rychel, and episode 19 is underway, my folks, and obviously always joined by the man himself, Mr. Justin Fiorillio, and our favorite person, king of the shenanigans, the Moose underneath us. Moose, how you feeling today, brother?
Good, man. It's Monday.
Yes, Easter Monday.
Easter Monday. Yeah, Easter Monday. Hope everybody had a nice holiday, Easter, Passover, whatever you celebrate. Very special time in life.
I echo that. Yes, I hope everybody had a great holiday weekend.
Passover, it's whatever. It's a great time to be alive, folks.
Yes, it is. It sure is. Why not?
Where all my golf fans at? It's Masters week. Tough crowd, folks.
Oh, I forgot. That's this week. Okay, yeah.
The only reason I know the Masters is coming up is because they're gonna have Jason Kelsey covering it, and God bless him.
I'll tell you what, they won't have Tiger Woods there this year.
Yeah, so Kelsey, he must know a lot about golf. Then that's good. That's great.
Well,
we don't get anybody. It's not me.
Like a lot of the Eagles offseason, and I think that's because of Jaworski and all them guys, dude. Because
Jaworski has that golf course. Yeah,
he has the golf course. He has his charity work that he does through the golf courses. I think that's the main reason why a lot of the Eagles players get involved in stuff like that. It's because that they have that connection with them over that. That's why I think that he does have that knowledge compared to, but he's also like a guy's when it comes to sports. I mean, hell, dude, the Olympics, he's sitting there doing doing the not to lose the bobsledding. Remember? He puts himself in these situations where he can be asked upon some of these things. So.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of retired guys. Like I know Ike Reese is big on golf, and a lot of them, that's what they do. They go golf.
I still think it has a lot to do with being put into those situations because of your former pros like Jaworski. But before I get too far into it, each and every one of the episodes of the J&S Philly Sports Stop is brought to you by Fight Wax. Fight Wax is the ultimate skincare defense, helps treat cuts, swelling, scrapes, and abrasions, rejuvenates and restores stressed skin. Customers have used for soreness, stiffness, recovery, designed for athletes of all active lifestyles. Provides an ultra silky, non-greasy feel, deep hydration for everyday skincare, helps fight dry skin. Customer has used for skin disorders such as eczema and psoriasis. And guys, make sure you get the Fight Wax soap. If you got a pet, especially the pit bull owners, make sure you get that on them. You know, that's another famous trait of the bully breeds, that itchy skin that they got there. But as we're getting into this, and we were talking about this, I think it was last week we were talking about this, Moose. Remember we were talking about the changes going on around Citizens Bank Park, right?
Oh yeah.
So you were talking about Connie Mack, and something else came up this week in reference to that, because we all know the clock is there, right?
Right, it's supposed to be gone.
And that's exactly what I'm going to get into. Middleton did an interview, and they were asking him. He's basically saying after the All-Star game, the clock isn't going back up. He's like, I don't think there's a reason to put the clock back up. Honestly, I'm telling you, the world changes. New people, young customers. You look at it, and it's like, why is it there? I got my phone. We had 3.5 million people there last year, and 95% of them don't know why it's there. And this person was like, interesting, John. Be careful. Don't spill your drink. And I don't know if John's drinking the sauce on this, but he is definitely out of touch with the nostalgic part of why people think that matters. And, that'd be like taking the Liberty Bell out front of Citizens Bank Park and just getting rid of it because people don't know the relevance of it.
Right.
Regardless if the clock works or not. It's a part of your heritage, your tradition, and people get upset when we remove Civil War remembrances or slavery, things like that being removed here in Philadelphia. We got, when Trump had that stuff removed, there was automatically people were like, hey, this is a part of our history. It needs to be up there. So for the next generation to know, for a teaching moment, things of that nature. It's the same thing when we're talking about simple things like that in Citizens Bank Park. Like, even if you just move it, maybe you don't feel like it needs to be there. But like, as long as it's still a part of what it is in that stadium, I think that would go a long way without alienating those parts of the fan base that feels like, you're tearing apart the heritage of the team. Moose, obviously this connects a little bit more to you than probably it would Justin. So let me start off on this one. Is the clock going back up a spit in the face to some of these Philadelphia fans?
Absolutely. Look, he said everybody has phones. Then get rid of your watches. Why have a watch? You just use the phone to tell time. Look, it's not about telling time and shit and stuff. It's a historical piece that's in the stadium that goes back to yesteryear. Right? And you can't that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard to get rid of something. I don't even know why they want to get rid of it. It looks good in the stadium. And it's a piece of history. All right. It's, then what's the next thing? We're going to take Harry Callis' statue out. What are we going to, take the Liberty Bell out that's out front that was in the vet all them years?
Yeah, I mean, they're saying might as well remove the bell, right?
Why don't they build a new stadium at this point? Just build a whole new stadium.
Well, it's stupid. Well, I got something. I'm never going to bring that up about the Eagles and their stadium thing, but yeah, it's stupid. It's ridiculous. I'm kind of, they're just making me sick anymore. Some of the stuff they're doing, I just don't get it.
All right, Justin, your thoughts? Them not returning the Connie Mack clock after the All-Star break.
Well, I mean, I agree 100% with Moose, and I'm not as familiar with the whole aura behind it and all that stuff, but just in general, my general rule of thumb for something like this and all the issues that's been going on with the Phillies lately is, if it's not bothering anybody, leave it alone. I know they changed that Harry Callis deck to the Ghost Energy, and I mean, look, money talks, greed, right? And my question is, and maybe Steve or Moose, the answer to this because I'm not sure, like, depending if the clock is up or not, is there like money involved? Like, are they getting a benefit out of this if they remove it or don't have it up? I don't understand like why this has become such a pertaining issue.
Know.
But no, you don't think so? Okay,
well,
so it's just
no. You know what they'll do? They'll probably somebody wants to rent that spot and pay him money to put something stupid there.
Right. So like, there's always something behind something, right? Yeah. So there's always, you got to think 2 steps ahead here, and they're probably thinking, I see the theme of what the Phillies are trying to do. At least recently, it seems like if money's talking, they're gonna go listen. So I don't know what the deal is, but I'm kind of listen. I think people should respect their, Philadelphia's a bot. I'm not trying to change subjects, but the Joe Frazier Rocky statue thing. I think that Joe Frazier is like history and part of like Philadelphia and boxing and all that stuff. And I actually think, he should be by the Rocky steps and all that stuff. However, because he's right now by Xfinity Live, or he was, but however, I was kind of upset.
Stateside
live, yeah, whatever.
Well,
so I do understand that, and then you got to respect him. And people worship the fictional character more than they do the real boxer. But I think Rocky is still just significant in terms of impact. So I think they should have kept that statue up as well. But I'm not trying to change the subject. But my point,
it's still on point. You're not changing the subject too far there because there's things that have it's cultural relevance. I agree with the fact that Rocky may be more culturally popular because of the movie than Joe Frazier is, and people forget that Frazier was a Philadelphia boxer. But I still think it doesn't matter that Rocky was fictional. We're talking fictional or non-fictional. It's a part of what the heart and soul of a Philadelphia fan is, and that's what Rocky embodies.
Yeah, well,
that's why it probably has more of an impact than just Joe Frazier, the boxer, the person.
Right. Well, if you think about it, Rocky put the art museum on. It made it popular.
The only reason the art museum gets as many visitors and foot traffic as it is now, it's because of that movie.
There's a whole Rocky gift shop at the base of the steps, by the way. You
and
go in there.
Not
it's
just
huge.
that, like listen, like we were just talking about bare knuckle. 90% of the guys that weren't from Philadelphia, when they came to Philadelphia for that fight, they all wanted to go run the Rocky steps. So it's like you have to understand what your customer wants. And I think just John's a little out of touch on this. If you want to move it, fine. Like, dude, go put it on the outside of the ballpark, somewhere, and just have it hung there. So the great grandfather that once went to fucking Connie Mack and showed, hey, that was at the stadium that I used to go to. It's a teaching moment for the younger fan base, so they know where it came from. That's all we're sitting there saying. I think John's out of touch, and it's continuing to kind of peep his head right there. I do want to get this in there. You don't need to give me $20, kid, but Luke, a big shout out to hopping in the chat today, my friend. You don't
I'll take the $20.
You don't need to pay Moose or Justin. Just appreciate you tuning in, my friend.
Hey, he paid me, man. Go fund me.
All right. As we're on the out of touch thing, I came across this today and I was absolutely pissing myself. Right. So this person is, a season ticket holder, right? Got his email for the All-Star game. The cheapest ticket for the home run derby, not the freaking game, for the home run derby is almost $250 for the home run derby. Let me ask you, gentlemen, you guys going to the home run derby? You checking that out?
Not unless it's free.
Almost $250 a pop per ticket for cheap seats.
Like
I want to know. I want to know what the good seats are.
I was considering it, but
I'm not paying to go see dudes hit home runs off a pitching machine or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't care.
So that's a no go. So and this goes to my other point of being out of touch, man. Like,
hey, you're right. $250.
Go ahead, Justin.
I'll go for free. Yeah, I'll go there if it's free. And I can make it free. I know ways of getting into places, if you know what I mean. I've proven that.
So I'm gonna say it like this: baseball once championed as America's pastime. This is a family event. They're pricing people out of this so much, and it's not even just in Philadelphia. There's other states, other teams that are just it's insane. Like if you have a family that's bigger than 4 people, it's almost like you're taking your family on a vacation and you're not even leaving your state, your city.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're sitting there and you're a season ticket holder and you just get an email for the home run derby, not for the All-Star game, and it's $250 for cheap seats.
I mean,
right.
Just go early to the game and go to batting practice and see your favorite star catch a ball from them or something. I mean, geez, if you want to see them kind of hit home runs and stuff.
You
got to buy your ticket and all that, but yeah.
Oh, you imagine them ticket prices.
Yeah, $250 though. Hey, if Jalen Hurts was done a home run derby, Steve, it'd be $400.
I mean, once again, Moose still wouldn't go because Moose isn't paying money to see people. Unless it's Frank.
Right.
Let's go back in time. If Frank Sinatra was still alive or Elvis Presley, of course I'm going to pay to see that.
That's a great question. Like, who would you spend in the history of time? Like, I'm not trying to change the subject, but like, who would you spend the most money on, like, to see in the history, whether it's an athlete or a musician? Like, who would you pay top dollar to see? But question for another day.
I'm just saying, I would from somebody really famous, worldwide famous. I'm not paying to watch guys that play a kid's sport that much money. Sorry. And I'm a fan. We knew that. But you also know I draw the line.
Yeah.
Well,
some people like to
spend the money on the ticket to the game, not a meet and greet or nothing.
So here's a crazy stat for you guys, right? So we were hard on our Phillies after the first weekend, and for obvious reasons, man. It wasn't a good start. Wasn't a good start. But here's a crazy stat for you, right? Do you know since May 1st of last year that our boy here has the second best batting average in National League since May 1st of last year. Now everyone wanted Marshy gone at the end of last season. They wanted Marshy gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did.
Here's some for whatever reason this didn't load in the back end, so I'm gonna have to talk to you about it this way, right? So we already know Justin was putting it out there what the team batting average was after the first weekend, right?
186, yes.
Right. So
lovely.
Now, out of the 9 guys that are in the lineup right now, let's start at the bottom. Who do you think has the worst batting average right now?
I'm gonna still go Nick Castellanos.
I thought that'd be easy.
Well, he doesn't play for the team.
I know. That's the joke.
So Bryce Harper is hitting 139.
I was going to say Harper. Harper's
right?
six.
You got Homer hitting 176, right?
Mm-hmm.
Realmuto 182, but we already talked about that before the season. It didn't matter what his bat looked like. He has a place on this team because of other parts of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Schwarber, I already talked about it. I still felt we overpaid for it, being where he is at his career, only hitting 188, but he's already hit multiple bombs. So
yeah, that's what he's paid to do. Really, he can hit. Yeah. He can hit 100, but if he has 50 home runs, who cares, right?
Dude, if he hits freaking 188 and he's got 50 home runs, that'll be like a historical anomaly in life.
Yeah, wouldn't it be?
Right.
I think that's what they look for him to do. That's what they pay him to do.
He's paid to hit home runs. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. That's what he's paid to. Right.
He's not stealing bases.
Bryson Stott's hitting 222, so we're halfway through the line. Right.
How about that? He's doing good.
Right. Trey Turner just under 300, hitting 289. Not to be surprising considering he was the best hitter in baseball last season, right?
That's good to see from him. That's good to see.
So now we're getting into the final 3. Our free agent acquisition, Aldos Garcia is hitting 294.
Okay, good.
We just talked March. He's hitting 303. And the kid, Crawford. Justin Crawford, is hitting 321. And
he's doing very well.
First week in Major League Baseball.
Very well.
Well, damn. Just keep that up and do it in October.
Now, real quick question. I'm still ripping this team right now after last night's game in Colorado, because why in the hell is Taijuan Walker still on this team? Why is he still?
You know why he's in the rotation right now? That's because that's.
Well, I know why.
Yeah, with Wheels' back, he's just going to be the additional arm in the bullpen. We already.
I know, but he should have been off.
But he's getting paid $20 million a year to be freaking garbage for us.
I know. I just can't stand seeing him out there.
Not a gig.
I mean, I wanted him out of here 3 years ago. You talk about a bad deal there with the Phillies and him. What a bad deal that was. Who's responsible for that? It wasn't Dombrowski, right? It was,
he got pictures. He got pictures on somebody in the organization. That's what's going on.
Was it Dombrowski that signed him? I thought it was the guy previous, McPhail, another loser.
Oh man!
Hey, and not to jump around.
We want Painter.
Speaking of GMs, how about the Phillies letting Ruben Amaro go from broadcasting?
Best move they could have ever did.
You think so? Okay.
Ruben was a bench player who he was a nepo baby, if you really ask me.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it really isn't. But when it came to those front office decisions, extending guys, bringing guys in, I felt that he was way below his depth. I think being an analyst is where he's best at. You getting some love over here, Moose?
What's that? I can't say it. Shirt. Oh, thank you. So, an old Wing Bowl shirt, Wing Bowl 2021. So,
I've never made it to a Super Bowl, but I wish I got to go to a Wing Bowl.
Oh, Wing Bowls are way better.
Bowls are never from an actual account. It's some nonsense. So,
Wing Bowls are awesome.
Let's get back to talking about some things. So, We're gonna get into Jalen Hurts in a second. I came across this list here, and I just found it funny, right? So this one here is Super Bowl credit debate, NFL head coaches who stole credit, right? And I have a problem because our boy Dougie P's on here, right?
What do they mean by stole?
Obviously
stole?
number one, right? We already know
Barry.
One.
Yeah. Like Barry Switzer, I'd call him as he got credit. Anybody could. I could have coached that Dallas.
You got George Seifert on here for his 2 different Super Bowl wins with the 49ers. I get that. Kubiak, yeah, you could see that but basically, that was off the defense and Peyton Manning led team. You could see that. Brian Billick, I don't know. Like, he was a very good coach for a long period of time. I mean, obviously, historical defense, completely dominant.
Look who his quarterback was that season when he won. It was backup.
Brent Dilfer. Come on, guys. Dilfer.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Dilfer.
Yeah, he sucked.
Mike McCarthy talking about, Aaron Rodgers and obviously we'll find out, how good Mike is when he takes back over the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. But
we'll be coaching Rodgers again.
Mike Shanahan's on this list. John Elway's performance. A lot of people say John Elway was carried by Terrell Davis through those 2 Super Bowl runs that they had. But having Doug Peterson on here, me saying stole credit. I don't get that because
I don't agree with that at all.
In my opinion, he didn't steal any credit. He did. No one had the Eagles on anyone's radar that season. The fact that you beat the Patriots, like, what credit did he steal?
Well, they should rename it
from a terribly ran Chip Kelly team, right?
Yeah.
Like, there was this, like, basically sitting there saying his offensive coordinators won him that Super Bowl. I don't think so. I think you had a great mix of young talent with the proper veterans in the proper places, and a team that just had an incredible belief in themselves. I don't feel it's right to put Dougie P on that list.
Absolutely, yeah, you're right.
I don't think he stole credit from anybody. Who would you credit that to?
He took the chance doing the Philly play.
You're going to give the credit to Howie Roseman. He stole it from him because he's the one that put that team together.
Oh, yeah. Well, all general managers did. I put the team together.
I mean, who did Doug Peterson steal the credit from to be on that list? Who?
Nobody. It's a bullshit list.
Yeah. I think he should be on the list of gets the most credit because he helped galvanize the troops. He got the job done. He helped. I don't know. I don't care who called it first. He was on board with the Philly special call. He helped orchestrate it in the weeks before in practice and stuff. So look,
I mean, even they've even talked about that call and that it was supposed to happen in the championship game. It got so ugly so fast that they didn't have a need for it.
Well, he's the boss at the end of the day, and he decided to be able to run that play when they did.
And also, people forget with the Jaguars, he took the Jaguars to the playoffs.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. And then he just kind of stopped coaching and had a down year the next year or two. But he took them to the playoffs.
Well,
I mean,
look, Doug Peterson's a Super Bowl winning coach.
Yeah.
And look, things went shitty after that Super Bowl. And, it is what it is.
Thank Carson Wentz for some of his turnovers, but yeah.
Well, yeah, you can't blame Doug for I would take Doug if we were starting a team and you had Doug as one of your options. I'm just saying.
Would you take Doug over Sirianni?
You got me by a barrel there.
Appreciate the love, my friend. Appreciate the love. Keep on.
I don't know. How about I don't know?
Well, it's hard to make a debate either way because they both won a Super Bowl for the Eagles.
Exactly.
Both had a lot of talented rosters. I mean, you pick your poison.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a tough one.
And both, you can make an argument, are kind of culture guys, right? Both of them.
Yeah. And they're both goofy sometimes. So, obviously that doesn't matter. If they win, they win.
Yeah, I might put that on my story or something later. Like, who would you rather if you're starting the Eagles franchise, Peterson or Sirianni? That's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
don't do that.
I think you get a little bit more Doug over Nick. I think Nick is like he doesn't have the playing experience that Doug had, and I think that's why he doesn't get as much as the credit as he deserves. But I think he's the guy that behind the scenes kind of helps make all the messy pieces mesh together.
Right.
Gets them galvanized in other ways that not most of your traditional coaches want to.
Right.
They were trying to run him out a few years ago. I remember at the end of the season, right before Fletcher Cox retired, when they were talking about should they move on from Nick Sirianni, and Fletch basically looked at this reporter like he was about to like reach out and rip his soul out, because it was like he couldn't even fathom the idea because of what Nick meant to this team.
Yeah. So. And we're not in the locker room. We're not in that locker room.
Listen, I think there's things that Nick does that are good. I think there's things that he does that he could probably be better at, but I'm not going to sit there and tear this dude apart and think that he's completely inept. I do think, looking at everything around, I do feel that him and Jalen are tied to each other in a way now that neither one of them can escape. But I mean, we'll get into Jalen in a second here, because that's another one that we got to dig into. And I was talking a little bit before we got on here, and it seems like that the media had enough of beating on the AJ Brown drum and feeling like that. Well, obviously this isn't going to go anywhere until June 1st. The Eagles aren't going to move him until then. So let's find a new target. And they just go right back to the same old BS nonsense that it is.
Yeah.
And we're going to go pick Hurts again, and he's uncoachable, and he refuses to play under center, and he won't run the ball, and he's this and he's that, and they're refusing to give him a contract extension and all this other crazy nonsense. And then even Adam Schefter came out, because when the report came out, right, and it was the whole anonymous sources nonsense, and even Adam Schefter said, he's like, I don't like this anonymous sources, and I don't think it's really fair to have any anonymous source question somebody's character when we're taking apart a guy that has had a lot of success in this league, and he just doesn't get it. And I don't think most of the fans get it either. Like, yeah, you're gonna have your guys that love Jalen, and they're gonna break out the pom-poms, and they're gonna break out the shields and do whatever to defend this guy. But I think the three of us are both level-headed enough guys to know that there's things he's good at, there's things he's great at, and there's just things that he isn't the best at. But my question to you guys, and I'm gonna start off with Justin, then I'm gonna go to Moose in there. Is this article's critique on Jalen, is it fair, or are we dealing with another case of unnecessary bashing? Let's start off with Justin.
So I guess I'd ask, there's so many articles anymore about. Are you referring? I know you showed
the recent one from Jeff McClain, basically.
Jeff McClain, yeah. Now that's the one that also mentions about the 4th and 11 call at the end of the season. Remember that?
But even if Jalen and AJ went off on their quarterbacks have the ability. Like, do you think Jalen's the only one that basically says fuck off to the coach and just runs what he wants to run? Is that a surprise? Did Tom Brady not do that for periods of time of his career? Basically, tell Bill, F you, I'm going to call what I want. I got my guys. I knew who I. He did it a lot of times on that undefeated Super Bowl run that fell short with him and Randy Moss. He did it a lot of times.
Yep.
Audible.
Not every time you're going to go off page on that, it is going to go exactly to plan. It just didn't happen to work out that way for Jalen. He was trying to get his boy the ball.
Exactly. I agree. Look, when it comes to this whole report and whatnot, the reason I asked that was because I was listening to Sports Talk Radio Drive-In the other day, and they were talking about this, and they're like, listen, so if the source were to know about that 4th and 11 call, they would have to be arguably probably a coach. So that they have, and this was a former player speaking on the radio about this, and they have because they showed the tape. They were on the radio talking. They were watching the tape of that 4th and 11 call, and there was only 6 people in the vicinity that would have actually heard or been around the call, and it was most of them coaches, and the only other players include Jalen, and I believe AJ Brown was one of them. Believe it or not, was what they said on the thing. So I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, but about the 4th and 11 and all that stuff. But my hunch is it probably might be a coach, maybe a disgruntled coach, maybe a Patullo, maybe somebody that's on the.
If you're asking me if I had a bet, I bet right now it's Kevin Patullo.
Well, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
I could see that being the case. He's down there in Miami. I guess he wants to run his mouth now.
And he feels like he literally, I mean, other than literally his house got egged. I mean, he feels like he is victim number one of Philadelphia, and he has probably some type of feelings towards us. I'm not trying to speak for him, but you could totally picture him going anonymously and ripping everybody because he's been getting the brunt of it for the whole year. So, yeah, it probably is him, but I don't want to assume it, and it could totally be somebody else, and it could be a player. But the whole report, Stephen Moose, is just kind of it's just bogus. Now, if it actually happened, it doesn't even really matter because it's just salty, just kind of hate fuel. It doesn't really mean anything. It just like and like they're blowing it out of proportion. So what do you mean he's uncoachable and he doesn't listen to the coach? So what? Are they gonna not? Is Jalen Hurts not gonna be the quarterback next year? I mean, what do you mean? Like I don't understand the end result of this. Like so you just it's nonsense because like it's not like. Unless you have some serious reports of Jalen Hurts doing something criminal or something like that, you're just saying he's uncoachable or this, that, and that. Things that you can't quantify on paper. I mean, it's just kind of bullshit, in my opinion. And I think if the article is true, because I mean he's a respected reporter and stuff, and that's the other thing with these reporters, guys. Like if they're just a verified name, if you want to get clicks, and if you want to just kind of start something, and people know or don't know that you're hanging around players or you're cool players, you can just make something up and people might believe you, and you get some clout from that. So it's a shame.
Well,
I'm not saying that's what happened, but the whole thing's kind of nonsense, and I could go on and on about it, but what are your guys' thoughts?
All right, Moose, you go. Your thoughts. Is this a
well,
fair critique of Jalen, or is this unnecessary bashing again?
it's called boredom and no stories to report with the Eagles right now because we're a couple weeks out from the draft. And you're right, they're beating the AJ bullshit to death, and that's going nowhere. So let's make up something else. Not that it's saying he's making it up, but it's called let's get some conversation. My God, can we just like let it ride? Maybe talk about draft picks or something? Do we have to have this controversy? Look, is Jalen perfect? No. Is he great at some stuff? Yes. Does he need work and have issues with other stuff? Yes. Bottom line is, all the man does is win.
I love this comment right here. I got to pull this one up. Jalen was the source. He's creating his own motivation while taking the heat off of AJ. I love it.
I like that. Actually, that's a big time wrestling swerve there. I like that.
Wow.
That's a good way to look at
it. Plot twist, everybody.
That's a good way to look at it. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should make up something.
Can you imagine if that actually how it went down? Like Jalen Hurts went to Jeff McClain. He's like, "Yo, can you just report this crazy story about?"
Jalen said, "Actually, I can take it."
That's a great swerve. That's pretty good. Well, Jalen's a tough dude.
Spot on, and that's definitely an Eagles fan with that handle. 41-33. That's a call back to 17. So we definitely know that's an Eagles fan.
Oh yeah. You know what? That's a good. Hey, and Jalen's a tough dude. He's very professional and stuff. I can see him doing that, saying, "I'll take the heat. Who cares?" Yeah.
But listen, all right. Even though we're in what if world right now, I could see Jalen doing something like that. Like he's probably just sitting there, like he maybe it's starting to wear on AJ a little bit. All this talk.
Yeah.
And he could sit there and see that it's bothering him. Like, you know what? I got something, AJ. We're gonna stop talking about AJ Brown this offseason. We're gonna make it about me because Jalen's he's the one that's stoic. He's never too high. There's nothing you can say to rattle this kid.
Yeah, he's level.
Just put it on me. Put it on me. I got this, guys. We going. This is how we gonna do it. I would not
with that.
That's something he would do. That's something that in the way he goes about things mentally, that's something he would do.
It's kind of
with that.
And the other thing is that people are just, we're talking about he's how's he so uncoachable? Because 2 out of the last 5 coordinators that he had, he got head coaches off of Jalen's back. They became head coaches off of his back. So how terrible is he? How uncoachable is he?
It's the chicken or the egg. I mean, is Jalen Hurts helping these guys get jobs, or is he just the demise of these?
More so, CJ, our boy who's now down there in Buffalo. Basically, when these reports came out, it was like, look, 7 different systems, still was able to get back and win one. He's rare. And his thing was like, why do this? Why do people continue to bash this man? For what reason? Plenty of other quarterback news we could talk about. Yeah, there is plenty of other quarterback news. Is how the hell not only are we sitting here right now talking Hurts and bashing Jalen Hurts when we just watch Kirk Cousins steal more money from the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean,
Yeah, right. That guy, Kirk Cousins. Number one, you can't win a game that's after dark. Number one, once it's dark out, he sucks. Number two, he's mediocre. Okay, mediocre, and it's amazing. Some guys they suck, but they manage to keep on getting paid. And it's Las Vegas too. You got to remember that they're not the brightest group in the tool shed there. You know what I mean?
Y'all remember about the Redskins with the RG3 thing and that he got drafted the same draft as them? Remember that era? Like, I remember Kirk Cousins from years ago, man. He was always kind of mid, like for his whole career.
Oh yeah.
And here's the thing: it wasn't just a former teammate. Obviously, when all the news came out, you see Colin Cowherd go out and talk about Jalen Hurts isn't this and Jalen Hurts isn't that. And then our boy Tank Bigsby was like, "This is the best in the world. Stop all the hating, my boy." So a lot of people. You have former teammates, current teammates that are basically like, "Yo, man, this is all unnecessary." So it leads me to believe first and foremost, the anonymous source crap. That when you're coming after somebody's character, like we're coming after Jalen's character right now, that needs to end. Unless you have a source that is willing to stand up and say, "This is what I said," this is where I got it from, X, Y, Z. That's who gave me this information. Then I don't want to hear it because we've been dealing with these anonymous sources in the Eagles front office for the past 18 months.
Yeah.
It's utterly ridiculous at this point in time. The nonsense that's being thrown at AJ Brown, at Jalen Hurts, at Nick Sirianni. And the craziest part about this whole thing is literally hours before this report came out, Jeffrey Lurie was talking about how much he loves Jalen, how he's a great leader, he's a great member in the locker room, in the community, he's loved by his teammates. And then this report comes out with the complete opposite side of it. How does your owner have all these great things to say about it, and then hours later this BS report comes out? I moving forward, unless there's an actual name attached to it, I'm done with it.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I don't even pay attention. I don't pay attention to it. I don't pay attention
from 4133. Think about it. Can't throw over the middle. He's uncoachable to throw over the middle. Can't get coached on a new system. It's gonna listen. If that's the other thing you just talked about it in a new system. 11 years in a row, he has been in a new system with a new coordinator. He has had one year where he had the same coordinator. In midseason, it was taken away from him, so he didn't have back-to-back years with the same coordinator. So Nick Foles was talking about this. Like, he's been in situations where he's literally run what's supposed to be the same system in multiple different places. Even when he went to Indianapolis and Frank Reich was there, which was supposed to be the same system, but it wasn't the same system. Everything was changed. So even if the play sheet's different, the calls are different, the checks are different, the coverage changes everything's different. So hey, you're gonna sit there and try to tell me this man is so uncoachable to the fact that almost every year he's been better, even with all that change happening. What are we freaking talking about here?
Yeah, good figure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know anymore. I agree.
I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for Jalen to hit them with this response again.
Yeah, he'll take it nice and professional. Yeah,
I want him to win the MVP. I want him to be MVP this year.
I love about Jalen. Like, through all this, and we talked about this last week. He is literally in the hardest city to play in, at the hardest position to play at, in one of the roughest cities to ever be in. And this is what he's consistently hit with.
What do you mean one up? It's Philadelphia. It's the toughest city to play.
He doesn't change how he responds. He doesn't change how he treats his teammates, how he treats the media, any of it. He is still the same guy, no matter what is being thrown at him. And he doesn't get enough credit for that. And I think it's utterly disgusting.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Look, all he does is win, for God's sakes. I mean, people just need to chill and
That might
relax,
be a safe bet, buddy. That might be a safe bet. Putting
and they need to quit talking about
down
it.
on Jalen to win the MVP this year. That
Mm.
might be a safe.
Yeah, and people will still criticize him. It doesn't matter.
But this is what I'm sitting there saying. It's not a fair critique. It is
Of
unnecessary.
course not.
Like, listen, there are things that we can critique. He can't throw the ball over the middle. Is the funniest one of them all. The funniest one of them all.
Oh, it is. It's hilarious. I've seen him launch
Maybe he
plenty of
doesn't
balls down the
like
middle.
to go in there and risk the possibilities of it being tipped because he's not
Yeah.
6'5", right?
Well, yeah, that and he doesn't put the ball. Look, what's his turnover rate? Very low. You know what I mean? He doesn't turn the ball over.
The game against the Chargers was the only aberration that he has had in the past 3 to 4 years where he's had multiple turnovers in a game.
Yeah, his rookie year he struggled with fumbles and stuff, and then he's got rid of it kind of.
Yeah, well, he doesn't turn. He's not a turnover guy. Brett Favre was known as a turnover
Preach it,
man.
brother. 18 and 2
you know what I mean?
Games. Preach it.
He was a gunslinger. He was reckless with the ball. Yeah, Brett Favre was good. He was reckless with the ball. He was a gunslinger. He had a lot of turnovers.
Lost in multiple games where they probably were Super Bowl-esque type teams and made sure that they weren't in some of these games. Jalen is not going to put this team in a bad situation consistently like that. He may be a bit of a gunslinger at times, but he's not reckless with the ball. And I'll take that if I'm Jalen, if I'm the coach, I'll take those national and public critiques that he can't throw the ball in those situations. We literally seen him thread needles in bad weather situations in impossible windows. The Buffalo game, I thought he threw it into a window I didn't think anyone could possibly throw one into. It almost skipped off of the defender's helmet into AJ Brown's hand. I think he is exceptionally good at it. Just he measures that risk versus reward thing consistently in his head.
Yeah, I think listen, I think Jalen Hurts is first off,
listen, we got the defense is situated in the back end. I'd like to see them make a move and go after an edge rusher, regardless if you trade the pick and go get somebody proven in the league. You know, maybe do the typical Howie Roseman thing and getting a guy on an expiring contract that's getting ready to play his mind out.
Yeah,
where you can get a comp pick back for it, even if you lose. Like if you trade for a guy. Listen, I'm hearing the Max Crosby stuff jump back up again. That's not happening, guys. You need to really stop that. I get it. We started off the beginning of the offseason in cap trouble. Now we have the 7th most cap space. It's like $34 million. You still have to sign Jalen Carter. You're going to have to give Jalen Hurts some type of contract after this season. There's things that have to happen. I want to see them go after an edge rusher, though. I love Jalen's Hunt. I love Nolan Smith, but let's face it, they're not every down defensive ends in the NFL. Now
they draft one.
We're going after somebody in the lines of, let's just sit there and just say like somebody in the ilks of a Myles Garrett or something like that. Or Joey Bosa or something like that. Then I could sit there and listen, I can trust that this guy's going to get me 10 plus sacks a season.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'd entertain that. I'd entertain trying to find a way to get Josh Sweat back here. I think Sweaty was a great rotational guy who could almost get you 10 sacks on a limited snaps rotation. But if you're asking me who do we draft, I'm going edge. I'm going you have to get better at the edge if that's the way I'm going with it.
Got to look at offensive linemen too. Got to start looking into that because Lane Johnson's getting older.
But where they're drafting at, are you going to get the best offensive lineman on the board?
Probably not.
So let me pose a question to both of you now. Now, before all this talk, before the Reek Woolen signing, I was kind of leaning towards cornerback, actually. But believe it or not, do you guys believe in the philosophy of best available player?
If it's a
position
need.
Yeah.
All right. If You know,
so like, what if the best tight end? What if
tight end available is still on the board? Then yes, I'm going to go get the best tight end available on the board.
Like Sadiq the Freak or whatever they're calling him or whatever.
Yeah. Me and you talked about it before we brought Dallas Goedert back. That's where I thought they were going to go with that first round pick.
Right.
I'm doing best available tight end, best available offensive line. Those are the only two positions on offense I would go after.
What about center?
If you have the best edge rusher in the draft available, you absolutely take him. I don't think you need a linebacker. I don't think you need a corner, but I wouldn't be surprised if the other safety is available and is the best guy on the board, that they wouldn't go after him, knowing that we just let a Reed Blankenship go.
Yeah, I forgot about that. We do kind of need safety help, a big time. So yeah.
What about center? How are we
Those
center?
are the positions of need that I would say the best available at those positions.
Yeah.
I think we have
Bergen and Drew. I think Drew Kendall are back up.
On the board is going to be available to us when
this is back up.
Drew Kendall, I think. Yeah,
I'm looking at that because Jurgens, I don't know, man. Yeah.
He's had his moments.
I would now that's the one offensive lineman position I would say, either that right guard or center position available. If you can go and get the best center and then go and trade Cam and then get back into the top 100. That's the only way you do it, is if you can move Cam and still get into the top 100 while getting that. Then I would. He was saying that move back and get another pick for next year. Look what the Rams got, but you only do that if you get a player as well that could potentially replace the guy that you wanted to draft.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way I would move out of that first round pick position.
Mm-hmm.
Is if you get there too, and they're drafting within the first 10 picks of day 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you also get there first from the next season. That's the only way I'd move out of that. Howie has been really good at hitting on those picks over the last few years. And we got to remember how many years in a row that we were just terrible at getting those first few rounds, like having guys produce.
Right.
So the way that Howie's been hitting on them, I don't know if you trade out of that position, but like 4133 just said, to if you get something back like what the Rams got out of Atlanta. Listen, the Rams are in a really unique spot right now, and if I'm them, I do whatever I can to make sure that you're the team in the NFC title game again.
So, yeah, man. Rams got a lot of ingredients to be the great team. They got the coach, the quarterback. So I mean, they just have.
You gotta wonder what's going to go on with the Puka Nacua situation.
Yeah, man, and he's having off-season issues too. Listen, I don't know, man. Yeah, that's true. But the Rams, as a core, I mean, they're a very talented team, and they're coached well. But you're right. I mean, are they still in their prime, or are they kind of going this way? So
they're in their prime as long as Matthew Stafford's still playing at the level that he did last year.
Well, yeah, he's the MVP. Yeah.
So, but we're still talking about some of this Jalen stuff, right? And this is that comment I was telling you about. AJ Brown talks failing, so here comes the Jalen Hurts propaganda like clockwork. So even even fans and people on social media see the blatant nonsense that is consistently getting thrown this guy's way. And it's really uncalled for. The critique on this guy is so on another level. I just don't get it. Let me show you guys some stats here real fast, right? We were talking about this a little bit before, and we're talking about the critique that he's getting. We don't see other quarterbacks with similar skill sets get. Did anyone remember how much hate did Steve Young get throughout his career?
Oh, he had the monkey on his back. Couldn't win the big one. He did
have the monkey on his back, but he didn't get brutalized in the media the way he does, right? So let's go look at their stats real fast, right? Through basically almost their first 90 games, right? And at this point in time, Steve is barely barely above 500 in those games. Right? He's 39 and 32. Jalen Hurts is 57 and 25.
Yeah, it's sick. That's sick, man. That's a hell of a win percentage, man.
He's got a better completion percentage. He's got almost 2,000 yards more passing than him. Now Young has a better yards per attempt. Jalen still has the better yards per game. He has 5 more passing touchdowns. He's got less interceptions. He's got the better QBR number. He's got way more rushing yards and attempts, and the touchdown totals is sickening too, because Jalen's got 63 while Steve only has 20, right? The only other comparable guy I would talk to on that is the one I've already mentioned here on this network, not necessarily with you guys, is the only other comparable one you would have to with the team around them, because remember, part of those numbers that Steve has is with the Bucs, right? I think that's only a year or two with the 49ers, which he was still Joe Cool's backup, right?
Yeah.
Now, the only other comparable person is Hall of Famer Troy Aikman, who had an elite running back, arguably the best running back of that era outside of Barry Sanders, right? Was Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
Right?
Had
literally the best offensive line in football for almost his entire career there. Right?
Yep. Oh, he had it made.
Right? Yep. Nate Newton and the boys, that they used to move people around. And then you had Harper and Michael Irvin on the outside.
Yep.
There was only one year that Aikman broke 3,000 yards, and that was the Barry Switzer year that we already talked about. That was stolen credit from Jimmy Johnson, right?
Right.
You'll figure that out.
That was crazy that he did that.
Between him and Jerry, they destroyed that team. He did an interview recently, like he basically told him that he was going to retire because he had no say in what was going on around him.
Yeah.
So when you see guys like that and then the hate Jalen Hurts gets and how those guys are perceived in the media, it don't make sense to me, guys.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like, listen, I love Jalen just as much as the next. We talked about it last week. We call BS. We see BS. We call BS. This is BS, man. This is real BS, and I'm overly done with it. Overly done with it. He has done everything the way you would want a quarterback to deal with things on a whole nother level that people just don't give him the credit for.
Right. Right.
And I even I said it last week when the news first initially broke, before we really got a chance to break it down. If he's Josh Allen, we're not having these conversations.
Yeah, the golden boy.
That's what I'm saying. If
you can't win.
I don't want to play the race card, but if he's a white quarterback, we're not having this conversation. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade when we see it.
Yeah. Yeah, Randall Cunningham got no love back in the day, and I thought he was. Yeah, granted, he didn't win a playoff.
I had a player basically tell me that he felt that John Gruden and the rest of the coaching staff gave up on Randall Cunningham before they should have. Yes, there was a learning curve when they brought in the West Coast offense that Randall just wasn't ready for yet. And that's because he had absolutely terrible coaches through his college years. And he was basically learning on the fly, and everything he did here the first few years of Philadelphia was him just, playing backyard football.
Yeah, highlight tapes are insane.
Yeah, Buddy Riley even said, I got the defense. Go ahead, Randall, take care of it.
Exactly, and he really hit his stride when he hit the Minnesota, and who did he break out with? You guys remember who it was?
Chris Carter.
Yeah, that was who? That was Randy Moss, right?
Oh yeah, Randy Moss. Chris Carter was on that team too, former Eagle, I believe.
So it's like, listen,
Cunningham balled out with the Vikings. Yeah, he played good everywhere.
I love Randall, man.
I love Randall. I think arguably, he's either 2 or 3 all time as far as Eagles quarterbacks go.
Mm-hmm.
Depends how you put it. I mean, if you want my top 4 Eagles quarterbacks, it goes Donovan McNabb, Randall Cunningham, Ron Jaworski, Jalen Hurts.
Mm.
You got Van Buren in there.
But see, I never seen Van Buren, and like as much as we like to give him credit, like I didn't physically see him or have enough film on him to sit there and say that he was an amazing quarterback.
Yeah, me neither. I was just a speck in my daddy's eyeball.
Yeah, listen, I always got to say, like, I count the past. I came before what I remember, but what I remember was, the 80s, 90s, and 2010s,
right.
and then 2020s. That, the last 40 years is what I know. And if you're
I've
asking me,
seen...
that's the Eagles quarterback Mount Rushmore, and your honorable mention for 5 would have been Michael Vick.
Yeah, he played good with the Eagles.
That 2010 team was ridiculous.
Yeah. They should have
won for it.
They lost.
We talk about the quarterbacks. And it's funny because we're talking about Randall not having coaching and all that. So in my head, I'm thinking,
it's so tight, man. Come on.
That's what I was going to say. In our lifetime, I can name you 3. Okay, and we all probably agree. The 3 worst Eagles head coaches that we've seen growing up and up to this point in time. And Coach Titan named him. He was a dope and a half. I remember that game. They lost to Dallas down at Texas Stadium. And he swear to God, in the press conference, he goes, it was raining that day. He goes, my chalk got wet. And I'm like, really? Really? That's your chart got wet. Yeah, but he said in that New York, my chalk got wet. That guy was a dope and a half, man. I mean, he was a moron. I'll tell you what, he's the king moron. I mean, and that was Norman Brayman. Let's get rid of Buddy and we'll hire this dope.
Yep.
Because he was already on. You figured, he's offensive coordinator. Let's,
Yep.
What a joke. What a joke.
The McNabb hate continues. Name me a quarterback that did more with less. Name me. He had Todd Stinkson and James Trash in games in multiple different years.
Charles Johnson. He had Charles Johnson. He had freaking. Oh my God, man.
I mean,
he had no wide receivers, none.
I get where people get upset with Donnie. I do, and we all win a Super Bowl. But listen, he is number 1. No one can take that away from him right now. Jalen is in the process of taking that away from him. If he has a few more seasons like he's had the past 5, I guarantee you that he'll be number 1 on a lot of these Eagles all-time great quarterbacks list.
Oh yeah.
But before we getting ready to close this one up, right? We're not talking about the stinking Sixers, even though they're currently 6th.
Yeah, well,
going to be in the playoffs. We got to talk about them Fly Guys, man.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
Playoffs. A team that's been rebuilding what feels like for the last 10 years, right?
Oh yeah,
in the playoffs right now.
That's right.
I need your respect, your love, and all that. Now I came across this graphic, and I was showing it to Justin before we came off. Do you know the Rook? The Rook, about 10 years ago, he was bumping elbows with Simmer.
How about that?
This was like the Flyers had posted this up right before his debut a few nights ago, right?
Put good energy in the air.
I'll tell you what, man. I really took a look at the Flyers today, just while I was Googling and checking out stats and stuff. I said, you know what? And shame on me, I haven't really watched hockey because they haven't been good. And I'm just going, you know what? Damn, they're what are they, number 3, the 3rd seed right now?
Yeah. 3rd.
That's pretty. Yeah. So the Moose said to himself,
"They're
not to rip anybody off, but the Moose said to himself, I do have some orange and black face paint."
Yeah,
I do have a Flyers jersey.
You should probably break it out before the last few games, brother, because it's definitely warranted.
Yeah.
I might. I never went with that. Never done that before. It'd be totally something different. You know, I don't want anybody to claim I'm ripping them off, if you know what I mean.
Man,
listen, when the Flyers make a run of the Stanley Cup this year, bring out the face paint when we're in the Stanley Cup Finals, okay?
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. To the making them all the way to the Stanley Cup, but we'll see.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
It's a fun story, man. They're giving us hope. I guess
at least win one round in the playoffs. It's a positive. Considering
playoff hockey back.
We're 2 years removed from being one of the top 3 picks in the draft. You got to take that where you get it. I said at the beginning of the year, Justin, you remember this. I said they were a playoff team. Did I not say this?
Yes, and you had some ups and downs, but they look like a playoff team now.
Yeah, I mean, just to have playoff hockey back.
Said they got the goaltender that the youth would have to step up and show that they're ready for being a pro NHL hockey player. And the kids have shown up and they have played and they have delivered. So that being said, like, listen, if they win one round and then get knocked out, in the divisionals, whatever, then so be it. So be it.
Yeah.
Hey, just have playoff hockey. It's exciting.
It's a good experience. I hope that I think it's what they got like 4 games left or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Spot, they get in the playoffs. It doesn't matter who you play at this point in time, right?
It looks like it'd be the Penguins right now.
Listen, talking about a rivalry renewed, right? Talking about a rivalry renewed. And here's the even crazier part, because that's even deeper than that. Because where did Taka coach before? Where did he play before? Oh, that's right. He was a Pittsburgh Penguin.
I try to forget that part. I just remember his Flyer years. I try to forget about the Pittsburgh garbage.
Flyers, Penguins, bad blood.
Sidney Crosby still playing. I can't believe that guy's 110. He's still playing.
I hate Sidney Crosby.
No. Listen, Ovechkin is our Gretzky of this generation, man.
Oh yeah, there's another one too. Yeah, he's about 152, and he's still playing.
But 1,000 goals, 1,000 points.
Yeah. But you know what? It's just great to have, and the world will get to see that we do love our hockey. That stadium, that arena will be packed and loud and local.
I think if you had a bet, I think the Flyers home games would sell out before the Sixers home games.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Man, I would have to say if the Flyers make the playoffs, that their home games would sell out before the Sixers home games would.
Oh, no doubt about it. The Sixers, look, whoop-de-doo. They're the 6th seed. Whoop-de-doo. Okay, and Groundhog Day.
They got a layup. If everything stays with, they're playing the Atlanta Hawks, man.
Oh, well, there we go. Just like a couple years ago, they'll lose to the Hawks again. Only this time we'll be in the first round instead of the second.
No. You don't lose to the Hawks this time around, man. If you got Embiid healthy, you got George, you got Maxey, you got Etchko.
Stop it. Stop it, Moose. I know it's going to come out of you. Stop it, Moose.
All I can think of is cheeseburgers and McDonald's, dude, when I hear Embiid's name, because that's what he does. It's the same song. Ride me a river. I mean, get him out of here. I want him to go. Him and Josh Harrison, Daryl, stupid ass.
I already said that Justin knows this. I was pitching a trade between us and the Bucks to bring Giannis here.
Yeah.
I said the only people you can't touch is Edgecombe and Maxey. You
can take Embiid, let it be.
You want to pick swap. You want Joel Embiid. I'm good with it.
Right.
And we'll give you.
Look, 41-33 with you, brother. He's like, I'm not gonna watch until they get rid of that bum Joel.
Yeah, that's right. He is a bum. I'll tell you what, though. McDonald's, he really gives them a lot of business, man. I'm surprised he doesn't do a McDonald's commercial yet.
Yeah. Hey, let's close our eyes for a second. Let's fast forward to June and just imagine this like this year. Joel Embiid, the process is complete. He has brought a championship to the city of Philadelphia.
Wake up from your dream.
Justin,
yeah.
You'll see the Moose hovering over you going, not a chance in hell, brothers. Not a chance in hell. Wake up. Wake up. I'll be shaking you. Wake up. Sorry, that's like me
I'll be like,
dreaming.
Moose, what the hell are you doing in my room?
Yeah, what am I doing in your room? That'd be kind of creepy, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna lay an impossible one on here for you guys. All right, all-time Philly greats. Your Mount Rushmores. You get one from each team: Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, Eagles.
Oh, wow. Well,
That's gonna be really hard. It's really hard. So I'm gonna start with Moose on this one. Your Mount Rushmore, 4 out of the 4 major Philadelphia sports teams: Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, Eagles. Who's your Mount Rushmore of all time?
Okay, this is pretty good off the top of my head. Flyers, I go Bernie Perrant.
took mine.
Okay. Sixers, there's 2. I'm gonna go. I didn't see Wilt. I didn't see Wilt Chamberlain play. I just saw him act in Conan the Barbarian. So I'm gonna go with Dr. J. Dr. J.
Moose is just taking my whole list.
Okay, hold on now, because I'm really in the other room in your house right now with binoculars.
I know. That story was too true.
All right, so Dr. J. Baseball, Mike Schmidt. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
greatest third baseman ever.
The only one you might put in there is like Steve Carlton. That's it.
Steve Carlton or Richie Ashburn, maybe I get, but
again, didn't watch Richie play though.
Yeah, true. So Mikey Schmidt, and then for Eagles, okay, I'm. This is tough because pre-Super Bowl I could tell you who, but we got 2 quarterbacks that won Super Bowls, Jalen Hurts, but I mean, if you want to go numbers and all that stuff. And I love the old timers, you know that. I say Reggie White. And give me Reggie White for the Birds.
That's what 4133 said, Reggie.
Yeah, give me Reggie White.
Justin.
Okay, now just quick clarification. Is it your Mount Rushmore of the greatest of each sport or your favorite of each sport?
No, your greatest. It doesn't matter if someone had better numbers. If you're making your Mount Rushmore of Philadelphia sports, all 4 sports, who's the one guy you pick from each team?
Okay. Well, how about I go Bobby Clark for the Flyers?
There you go.
Good one.
Bobby Clark. I'll go Dr. J for the Sixers. And I'll go for the Eagles. I will go with Brian Dawkins. And last but not least, for the Phillies, I'm going to go with the 08 team, and I'm going to go with my man, my favorite Philly of all time, Ryan Howard.
All right, I'm here's mine. Let's make it real quick to wrap this one up. I'm with Moose on this one. For the Phillies, there is no other choice but Michael Jack Schmidt. He is the only infielder in Major League Baseball history to hit over 500 home runs with 10 or more Golden Gloves. The only one. When it comes to all-time third baseman, it stops at Mike Schmidt. There's no other greater power hitter at third base than Mike Schmidt. And we've seen a lot of good third basemen play baseball over the last 40 years, and no one's even laid a candle to this guy yet. And
absolutely not.
In my lifetime, no one's even touched him.
Yeah.
So I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think he's absolutely first one on the list for your Mount Rushmore, right? Sixers, it's Allen Iverson. I love Dr. J. Love Wilt Chamberlain. I was a Charles Barkley guy. I hated when we traded him. I thought it was the worst trade that we've ever made as a Philadelphia sports franchise, was getting rid of Charles Barkley. But it's Allen Iverson. He changed the game in so many. They changed rules so that his crossover died after a few years of him doing it to people. If he does what he did to Michael Jordan his rookie year today, it's a travel. They changed the game for him. So he has to be on this list, championship or not. He was a game changer. He was a cheat code, all that other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Flyers, man, it's Ron Hextall. I know everyone loves Perrant, but he's the only goaltender to score multiple goals.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
I remember that.
He's fought when there was a fight. He's the guy running up the ice, breaking things down. Like, how do you not love that about a goaltender? May have not been the best goaltender, had his faults, as a player, as a front office guy. but it's one of those things where he was just special on another level. And
Yeah.
I think those things you could talk about. Now the Eagles. You already said Reggie, so I'm not going to go there. We already know he's the best of all time, right?
Yeah.
As far as D lineman as an Eagle goes. You went Ryan Howard for your Phillies. His career was cut short, not the same thing. So I'm going to do a little different. And I'm going to go Jerome Brown because he was going to be something special.
Yep.
If it wasn't for his need for speed. And I think if he was a guy in today's age with all the race car tracks and stuff like that, I think that he would have been able to have a longer career. And between Clyde Simmons, Reggie White, and Jerome Brown, I think they would have been able to, during those early 90s years, beat the aforementioned Dallas Cowboys and steal one of those championships from them. That defense was that good. They really
that
were.
That defense used to kick their ass. They sacked Aikman 11 times in one game. Yeah. Remember that?
And that was when Mike Golick was on that line.
Yeah.
And that was after Jerome had passed. That was after he passed. They did that.
So you put Jerome back in there, my God. Yeah, absolutely 110%. The Eagles would have won a Super Bowl with that defense. So if everything
those
held
are
for
my
attrition.
all-time great Eagles Mount Rushmore. It's one of the harder things to do because we all have our guys that we like to. I gotta put this one in there just because he's been commenting all afternoon. And 4133 used to work with the Phillies, and Mike was at a game. They had a break for ambulance because this 40-year-old were sprinting to meet him. So people loved Mike to the point where they were putting themselves in the hospital just trying to meet him. Mike is a special athlete, maybe not the greatest coach that we ever had in our system. And a lot of guys do that because they miss the game. But I think that he still brings something special to this organization. He is the greatest third baseman of all time. There's no
yes, he is. We looked up to him. We had baseball glove. We had the Mike Schmidt glove. And his autograph embroidered or burned into the glove.
Yeah, it was right on the thumb.
Yeah. Well, you guys believe he's the best Philly of all time too, right? Like,
listen,
not just third baseman, just best Philly. Yeah,
that is Steve Carlton.
Yeah.
And like people talk about Richie Ashburn is arguably one of the best leadoff hitters of his era.
Yeah.
Richie Ashburn was Lenny minus the power, but 100 times of the baseball player that Lenny Dykstra was. And everyone used to love Lenny. Right? Everyone talks about Jimmy Rollins. Now I think Jimmy Rollins had some certain different it factors about him that you could put him in some of these conversations. Same thing with Chase Utley. Those guys from that 08 team had special qualities about him, but all those qualities they have them. Richie had every single one of them. And I think that's why guys like me, guys like Moose talk about Richie in that aspect. He may not have had all these home run numbers, but anything that was hit anywhere near where Richie covers, he had it. Mm-hmm. He had a an Aaron Rowland-esque type of way of playing the outfield.
Yeah.
So, but that as a hitter, like he would find ways to get on base, whether walk, whether playing small ball. Like Richie was a very good baseball IQ leadoff man for his time.
That's what you want for him. That's what you want for a leadoff.
Exactly what you want. The problem was there wasn't much else around him or behind him.
Yeah, well.
And that was the case for most of his career. And he never left Philadelphia.
Nope.
Which is a loyalty you rarely see in athletes in today's day and age. And if he probably played in today's baseball, he probably would have played for a bunch of different teams if the Phillies were that bad during that time. But we were lucky enough to not only keep him in a Philly uniform his whole career, but then get another career out of him as an announcer with him and Harry Callis. So
no, they were awesome. They were, dude. That's why I grew up listening to them too on TV.
So and then on the radio, and Crucker, man, like listen, Harry and Whitey was something different, man.
Oh yeah, and Scott Bransky and LA do a damn good. They really
So
they do a great job.
listen, a little bit over what we normally went, but some of these conversations always do. And we didn't have a whole lot of topics to go to. We just had a lot to get out and kind of talk about. And I just hope moving forward we don't just rely on unnamed sources and just kind of let it be run without. Like, if you're going to do this, you have to name the source. Jalen Hurts will continue to be the consummate professional. And listen, 41-33 already said, I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen basically is like, listen, take the heat off my boy, man. I had enough of this talk.
That's good theory.
Yeah.
So, wanted to make sure we give him some love today, because that was a spot on assessment. And that is something exactly like what Jalen would do. But you know how we end this one, boys. Kind of throw it over to both of you guys. What you got going on? What's new in the sporting world for you? And let's start off with Justin, my friend. What you got going on this week, brother?
Appreciate it. Another fun episode of the JNS Philly Sports Stop. Appreciate you, Moose, stopping by. So April 10th coming up. Just this Friday, I'll be with Andrew Makuba, Eagle safety. Justin Brown, JB Sports Ventures. We're taking him to the Parkersburg Point for the day, and we're also going to a high school. He's going to speak there, so it's going to be a jam-packed day. April 16th, me and Moose will be there. Klondike Kate's in Newark, Delaware. Celebrity guest bartending. We're not celebrities, but they're called us celebrities, and we're going to be there, and it's going to be great vibes. 302 Birds partnered with Klondike Kate. It's going to be a great night. So donate all the fees. Proceeds go to the Eagles Autism Foundation. So that's April 16th. April 19th, Monty G's birthday bash. It's going to be amazing down at the Xfinity Live area of the G Lot, 11 to 6 on that Sunday. And then last but not least, we brought him up here. Humbled to say I'll be with Dr. J again on April 20th. World Trade Center event of Philadelphia is doing an event down there. It'll be at the there's a World Trade Center building or extension building in Philadelphia, and there's a big event seminar that weekend, and I'll be down there getting some content and be with him. So a lot of fun stuff coming up literally in the next 10 days, like 11, 12 days. We got a bunch of stuff going on. So stay tuned. And what about you guys? What do you got?
Moosey Moose.
Well, cheap plug real quick for my boy, Wingador brand sauce. We already know I love this stuff. It goes on anything.
Yes, sir.
Created by the man himself, the Wing Bowl champion. As you see, I got Wing Bowl 21 shirt on. Philly Wing Bowl won it 5 times. He has his name up in the rafters at the Wells Fargo, or wherever the hell you want to call it, center.
Yeah.
Wingador.com. You're missing out if you don't get this, brother. This is damn good shit. Anyway, speaking of wings, this Saturday, the countdown's on. Darren Dalton Foundation event at Hunt's Annex in Delaware County off McDade Boulevard. King of the Wing contest. I'll be participating. So I should be getting my body in gear. Tomorrow I'm going to start doing what I need to do to get it rolling. So that's at 1 o'clock. If you're in the area, come on down and watch me. Well, I'm talking shit, but I've been down this road before. I'm going to dominate. I've already tried their wings. They're pretty damn good. So, and of course, I'm at the events Justin mentioned. Well, not all of them he mentioned. The one in my hometown here, Newark, Delaware, Klondike Kate's, 302 Birds, Eagle Autism event. I'm not bartending, going nowhere near that bar, but I will be there, whether some people like it or not. And then we got Monty G's big birthday bash at the G Lot. If you'll know who Monty G is, look him up. He's one of the original OG Eagle super fans, hype guy. And he's having a big it's right before the Phillies game, 11 to 6 in the parking lot up at the stadiums. And I believe Justin will be doing our podcast Inside the Eagles from there.
Yes, that's the plan.
And so the Moose will be in full effect with my boys, whether you like it or not. There's some things where it's like
who would have a problem with the Moose showing up to a party? I mean, you are the party.
There's a couple people out there that just don't get it yet, and I'm sorry about their damn luck, dude. Hey, I love everybody.
We love you, Moose.
But if you don't love me, if somebody doesn't love me, not my problem, dude. Get over it. Go get a dog. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway,
well, you were mentioning the Darren Dalton Foundation, and I'd be remiss not to bring up that they did make a post today showing some love to our former guest here on the network. Tommy Green's birthday was today. So
yes, I saw that. Yeah, I'm hoping
give Tommy G some love here tonight. Hopefully, him and the wife here enjoying a a wonderful birthday celebration. But that being said, that puts a wrap on today's episode. Another fun one in the books. Appreciate everyone tuning in the chat. Obviously, 4133 was killing it, and one of our Philadelphia fans hopped in the chat.
4133, man. Thanks
he
for
was active. He was active as hell. Yeah,
that's awesome. A good theory there, buddy. That's total WWE right out of WWE's playbook. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
I'm gonna put it out there since you're asking. I know you asked earlier, but we were in the middle of like a Moose's talk, so I didn't get a chance. So South Florida Tribune is the media company that I work with. We do this every Monday night, brother. We're on here talking Philadelphia sports. I run several different podcasts through this network. Also, Wednesday evenings we jump on Inside the Eagles on Justin's podcast, me, Moose, and a bunch of other guys on the Shake and Bake Network. We record our episode, talk some trash, have some fun, have some laughs. So make sure you're showing us some love here on the South Florida Tribune. The QR code is right up there. Like, subscribe, show us some love. We're always going to be doing some type of Philadelphia content on the JNS Philly sports stuff, but on the South Florida Tribune as a whole, because obviously we know we're the Philly guys. South Florida Tribune, that's where the owners Scott and Candy come from. They're down there in South Florida. This is their network. I kind of hijack it from time to time with our Philly sports talk, and they don't go too far into the South Florida thing, but always make sure that they have their conversations for their sports lovers down in that South Florida. So always talking Hurricanes football and all that. Every once in a while Scott gets a chance to kind of cover the Marlins down there. They do all the pro days, all that other stuff down there in the Florida area. But I'm kind of the Philadelphia resident, rounding things out. We cover a little bit of everything here in the South Florida Tribune: baseball, football, basketball, hockey, NCAA football, NCAA basketball. We talk about, NASCAR, IndyCar. We talk combat sports. I have another show that I do a lot of the combat sports fighters. We do one-on-one interviews. We talk about everything going on in the combat sports world, from MMA to boxing to bare knuckle. Obviously, bare knuckles coming here back in another big event on July 3rd. So obviously, as that card gets put together, we'll be doing a lot more of having them guys on the network here. But this is a South Florida Tribune media network, but we also have our Philadelphia bases. I hope that answers all of your questions for that one as we're getting ready to sign off here. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, but I'm Steve. That's the Moose. Justin Fiorillio. Peace out. We will see you guys same time next week, my friends. Have a good one.
Stay safe.
Peace out, y'all. Go Birds.